This is episode 678, and today we're going to be looking at achieving peak performance. Have you ever wondered what separates the elite performers from the rest of the pack? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I always like to look at what is the separating factor, because at a certain level, whether it's sales or athleticism, we all have the same skill set, but there's something else that separates us. So whether it's athletes, business leaders, or artists, some individuals constantly operate at a level that seems almost superhuman. If you've never been in sales, there are those individuals like that. Artists, they can just go, go, go. Athletes, we look at them with awe. So what's their secret? Right? The answer lies in the science of peak performance. Notice the science, a fascinating blend of psychology, physiology that unlocks the human potential. So the psychological aspects of peak performance are mindset matters. I've talked about mindset many times on my podcast, the growth mindset versus fixed mindset, but it's more than that too. It's your mindset. It's how you perceive things, what meaning do you put into the event? That's part of mindset. Is it a problem or is it good? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is there a learning here? Mindset encompasses so much. It's just not as simple as a growth versus fixed, although that is a wonderful place to start. But it also is looking at mental strength and looking at the four C's, right? Control, challenge, commitment, and confidence. All that is part of mindset. And mindset matters with everything we do. If you want to be average, your mindset will probably be average. If you want to be peak performance, your mindset will elevate to peak performance. The other part is we want to enter the flow state. So the psychological aspects of peak performance is, right, the mindset matters, and then entering into that flow state. If we look at challenge, the challenge part of mental strength, challenge is pushing yourself a little beyond your comfort zone. What is your comfort zone is your current level of skills and talents. And so we want to push ourselves a little bit above that, because when we push ourselves beyond our typical skill and talent, we have to become hyper focused in what we're doing. It just doesn't come naturally. We have to put some attention into it. And when we put this focused, laser, hyper focused attention into the task that we're doing, we then enter the flow state. And the flow state is that eventually things seem effortless, time goes by quickly, and we come out of it with a big achievement. But the key with the flow state, right, is one, we have the mindset that, hey, I'm going to challenge myself. And then the flow state is, hey, I'm going to challenge myself because I've never done this before. And then the confidence of mental strength comes in and says, I have confidence in my skill and abilities, and I'm going to push myself just a little bit. If we push ourselves too much, we won't enter the flow state, we'll enter frustration. If we don't push ourselves enough, we're going to be bored and we're not going to achieve peak performance. So this entering the flow state is embracing the mindset of the growth realistically and the mental strength, and then start to apply that with the skill and talent for what we want to achieve and push ourselves a little bit beyond our comfort zone. And then mental toughness and resilience, right? So peak performance is whatever happens, you get back up and keep going. If you hit a roadblock, you keep going. If you stumble, you keep going. If you don't, quote, succeed at your task, you keep going. And you look at everyone. So in NLP, we say there's no failures, only feedback. And so part of this is that we want to, when we start to get into the flow state and we don't get there or we don't achieve peak performance, we look back, see what worked, note, and then look at what we can do better and get the grit and resilience and keep on persevering through it until we hit. One of the key things with peak performance is eventually you'll get it, but many, many people will give up way before they achieve it because it's too hard or it's too whatever. They're making so many excuses, but the peak performing individuals, whether it's art, sports, business, are the ones that go, this is where I want to be, and I'm going to push myself until I get it. So the physiological aspects of peak performance, and this involves whether you're an athlete or not, is the role of nutrition and hydration. Hydration helps our brain function correctly. Proper nutrition helps our brain function correctly. And when we have a clear functioning brain, we then can start to embrace the mindset and the grit and the resilience and the flow. If we're eating sugar all day and processed foods and hyping up on coffee and Red Bull, we will not be able to achieve peak performance. We barely will get through the day. So we want to take we want to take a look at the nutrition that we're having. Is it supporting our brain function? Is it supporting our energy throughout the day? Because if we're lacking energy, we're not going to be able to meet peak performance. And our hydration, water and electrolytes. Are we getting, let's just say, a gallon of water every day? Just shoot for it and notice the difference in your energy and how clarity comes to your thinking. Exercise and physical conditioning, again, whether you're an athlete, business person, or artist, these are important because it gets energy going, it gets your body moving. Your body was meant to move, not sit all day, not sit in a chair and then go sit on a couch and then go lay in a bed and do the same thing over and over again. Your body is meant for movement. So we need to have exercise and physical conditioning, one that challenges our mental strength, because we will probably end up trying to talk ourselves out of going to the gym. And this is where our perseverance can help us. But once we get going, it releases endorphins, it releases so much great stuff that it actually improves our mood, improves our attention, improves our focus because of the blood circulating, which can help us achieve peak performance. Sleep. Sleep is one of the toughest, quote, activities, unquote, that most people have a challenge with. We should be getting the proper amount of sleep, because sleep is when we repair, when we rejuvenate, when we take care of any challenges. Our unconscious mind processes all that information when we are sleeping. And the formula for growth, right, is stress plus rest equals growth. So if we want to grow in our capacity as a performer, whether it's a physical or a mental capacity, we put ourselves under stress and then we have to rest. And sleep is the biggest component of that. And if we don't have good quality sleep, it's not so much the duration, but the quality. How long are you in REM? How long are you in deep sleep? If you don't have an Apple Watch, a Fitbit, or something similar, I encourage you to get it and start tracking your sleep. Be aware of when you look at it going, oh, I got a bad night's sleep, I should be tired. That's not what we're talking about. We want to see, what did you do to achieve the result that you got? If you come back with a high score, great. Just keep repeating that for your nighttime routine. If you came back with a lousy score, take a look at your nighttime routine and modify it so that it will support you getting a good night's sleep so that you can achieve your peak performance. Achieving and maintaining peak states. This is really critical, right? So cultivate a growth mindset. Embrace challenges and view failures as opportunities to learn and grow. Remember, there are no failures, they're just feedback. And that growth mindset goes after challenges because it knows with each challenge, it's going to learn something. Seek flow state, right? Engage in activities that match your skill level with the right amount of challenge. We just want to push ourselves a little bit beyond our comfort zone, not a lot, a little bit. And then when we meet that challenge, we then can expand the comfort zone again. So as we achieve this flow state, we're actually increasing our capacity of our comfort zone. And building mental toughness, right? So we want to practice visualization, positive self-talk, and goal setting, to name a few. So we also want to optimize nutrition and hydration, right? We need to fuel our body with a balanced diet and stay hydrated. absolutely essential. And exercise regularly, right? Incorporate physical activities into your daily routine. This helps with attitude, this helps with mood, this helps with blood circulation. And prioritize sleep. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. More importantly, look for significant times in REM and deep sleep. So keep in mind, right? Peak performance is not an elusive trait reserved for the lucky few. It's a science that can be understood and applied regardless of where you are in life, meaning sales, athletes, or artists. And by integrating psychological strategies with physiological best practices, anyone can unlock their ultimate potential. So remember, the journey to peak performance is ongoing, requiring continuous learning and adaptation and effort. Ongoing. This is where a coach can come in very helpful. If your goal is to go for peak performance, the coach can help you identify what it is, put together a plan for you, hold you accountable, and make sure that you maintain your consistency in achieving it. So start today, right? Embrace this process and watch yourself transform into the best version of you. If you'd like to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're there, you can find more useful information in the form of blog posts and podcast, as well as how to reach out to me for a breakthrough session. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.